Hi, I'm doing a documentary for my film class and was wondering if you could tell me a story.
I'm not really sure. I used to live in San Francisco. Actually, I was thinking about it the other day, about how bizarre it is that I live here. Given circumstances, if they were different 9 months ago, I would have moved back to San Francisco. But I decided to move here. I could always go to the beach in like a half an hour and watch the sunset. And, and actually being on the roof of my old art school, looks over at the bay. You can see Berkeley and the Bay Bridge and Golden Gate Bridge, and it was beautiful. It was really enchanting. Definitely.
So I was this tour guide for this cornfield maze on Halloween, right?
So I'm like getting ready, and like all of a sudden I see this lady starts walking in, and she's not supposed to walk in. So I'm like, ma'am, you can't walk in, ma'am, you can't walk in.
She just doesn't do anything, she just keeps walking. And I'm like, alright, I'm in Tucson, Arizona.
Señora, no puedes entrar, no puedes. She doesn't turn around. It's like, ma'am, and I kind of run up to her, and she just goes like that.
So I spoke Spanish to a deaf person. And
guy walked over here like last night. Sometimes I work late night as well. He walked over and said he wanted a cab. He's kind of drunk. I couldn't get him a cab because it was so late at night. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't help you, dog. He's like 55 years old. He's like, maybe if I talk to the bartender, maybe I'll get something out of it. I'm like, no, I don't think it's going to work because I don't have a phone. So he responds back by calling me a wimp. Which last time I checked, no one's been said that since 1955. So I made fun of him, and he left.
Yes.
Do you know what a Cleong is?
Yes, I do.
So, Las Vegas, 13 years old, walking with my mom. I have a Cleon walk up behind me and starts following me. I start to stray away because, of course, Vegas, 13 years old, getting kind of curious. And then I look back and he just gives me the most creepiest smile. And I literally run up to my mom, crying, Mommy.
13 years old. Like, seriously, crying for your mommy. It was a little embarrassing. But, I mean, after a Cleong following you for a while, it could be a little nerve-wracking, so.
I am the salon owner of Salon LALE, and I'm just here to say that I started this business with my sisters. We are self-employed. We are blood sisters. We've been in business 8 years, and we totally love our job. And I just want to encourage any young person out there to go for their dreams. You can do whatever you want. Just go for it. Believe in yourself and go all the way.
All my friends are gone on spring break and I have to sit here because I have to work.
I was staying in the dorm, and I was kind of freaking myself out, so when I was going to get a sandwich, I saw like all these creepy men. Like this one like dwarf guy was just looking at me really weird, and this other, I think he might have been homeless, he like came up to me and he was like, hey, do you know it? Yeah, like in that kind of voice, and he asked me for directions, and so I was just freaking myself out, so I like ran to my room.
Locked the door. That was fine. That's my story. I don't know I got a story you guys wouldn't.
I don't know. What's a good story? The Billy Rubin nights. There's gotta be something better than that.
Midnight snow show. It's really all.
Oh yeah.
That's all I know
Okay.
about you.
Last weekend I went midnight snowshoeing, and it was a drinking midnight snowshoeing, and this is actually a lesson to you. Do not run when you're drunk in snowshoes with things in your hands. So I was behind the group with another friend, and we were running to catch up, and I had the beer bottle in my hand. and I tripped and face planted on top of the beer bottle and cut my eyebrow open.
That's awful.
With it, which is what we've got here, which actually looks really good.
Wow. It's not even noticeable.
So yeah, it was pretty good. I bled through my hat, had blood down my face by the time we got back to the car. So yeah. So don't run in snowshoes when you're drunk.
Okay, one time after the 303 concert, me and Teddy and Ted and Sierra and Michaela and Austin and just all these people, we went down to Peter Piper Pizza, and it was like at 10 o'clock at night, and then we got all these tickets, and I asked the guy at the counter if I could get like light up vampire teeth, but they didn't have any, and so I'm just like, can I get a pair of vampire teeth? And he's like, sure. And then I was so excited, and then I turned back around and I'm like, wait, can I get 2 vampire teeth?
So there is an autistic boy, and his parents went out to eat for dinner, and so he's home alone, and he's just relaxing, and so he calls his mom, and he says, Mom, there's a troll at the door. And she just says, oh, yeah, she just thought that he was messing around. And so she says, all right, that's cool. And then she hangs up the phone. So later, he calls her again, and he says, Mom, the troll's trying to get in. And she said, what are you talking about? She didn't know what he was talking about, so she just hung up the phone. And then he called a third time, and he said, Mom, the troll is now trying to get out. And now she's concerned because he's called him 3 times, and so they drive home from dinner, and there is banging coming from the closet door, and she opens up the door, and a little midget census is coming out, and he runs out the front door. he was not happy, and this is a true story.
Kind of emotional.
Okay.
My dream as a little girl, I always wanted to get married under the Knights of Columbus swords. Do you guys familiar with that? It's a Catholic thing, and there are men of the Knights of Columbus that commit themselves to the church, and they do fundraisers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, when someone of their family or requests the Knights of Columbus, you walk under this aisle of swords that they put up for you. Well, I went to a wedding when I was a little girl, and I saw that. I thought it was the most beautiful thing in the world. So my dad, knowing that I love that, joined the Knights of Columbus for me. He converted to Catholicism. He was my stepdad and joined the Knights of Columbus for me. Well, I never got married before my dad passed away. But my dad was a Knights of Columbus. So at his funeral, they had the archway. And I got to carry his ashes. I was with my dad walking under the swords because of his commitment before he even died.
Making mama so proud, but your voice is too loud.
Story. How about I was over at the frame counter and a woman who was apparently menstruating came over and was like, thought I wasn't experienced enough to frame her frame, so she made me call my manager and have him do it. There's a story for you. Oh my God, you're actually recording this.
Yes, I am.
Let me tell a more appropriate story. Steph, do I have appropriate stories? I'm being filmed.
I have a story.
Let's have a skirt for a story.